All right, so I decided to give a little further look at this shelf. So I moved it from over here to over here. Still a little wobbly. I'm gonna actually put some screws on the side to keep it steady and straight. But so like I said, this shelf, I had like 4 of these at one point in time, all bought from Walmart. But this one's the special one because it's covered in band stickers. I just kind of wanted to document it in the form that it's at. But my nephew and I tried to kind of like rig it together and screw it into place. So it's kind of hardwired now, so it doesn't really come apart without you unscrewing it. But so yeah, this dates back to at least the early 2000s. I started covering it with band stickers, so I just want to kind of take a look at it. So these are the spare shells I don't have on there yet. I might only use maybe one there and one there. Maybe I'll do all 3, but I think it only came with like 3, so this is like one of these is from another shelf I ended up ditching. But if I ditch any of them, it's probably gonna be this one, unfortunately. But got an apple sticker, Bright Eyes Casadaga, then Jack's Mannequin, Everything in Transit. So that's at least 2005. I think that was 2005 as well, but most of these are probably 2002 to 2004 most likely. What else we got? We got a Thursday sticker, still a fan of them. Copeland, bigger fan of them now than I was when I put that sticker on there. So I think that album was 2005. Fairweather, Alistair, Agent 5'9". I think this is a local Kansas City band, I'm not quite sure. I just remember being at some concert at the Beaumont Club, which no longer exists. It's the Char Bar now. And I was just like making my path through the crowd, and I said, "Excuse me," to some guy, and the guy was just, "Hey, you're really polite, blah, blah, blah. Here, check out my band." And he handed me like a sampler or something. I think it came with a sticker too. I forget how I got this sticker. It was this band, Agent 5'9". So if you know anything about this band, let me know. And Zex Marquise, I think I saw them with RX Bandits at some point. That might have been 08, 09. So that sticker's later on. So you got Victory Style 5. It's a promo for like a greatest hits, or not a greatest hits, but like a compilation. Instaurals April 9th. So this would have been either 2002, maybe 2003. I want to say maybe 2003 because I think the Taking Back Sunday album was 03. Trey, Taking Back Sunday, Snapcase, Grade, Strife, Thursday, Catch 22, Student Rick, Darkest Hour, Blood for Blood, Snow Dogs, Water Down, Voodoo's Glow Skulls, Reach the Sky, Angela Delamort, Hoods, River City Rebels, Armor for Sleep, Bloodlet, Electric Frankenstein, Dead to Fall, Ringworm, Minus. So out of those all those, Scene to Trey still listen, Take It Back Sunday, Scene still listen, Thursday, Scene still listen, Student Rick, I think I listened a little bit. Voodoo Glow Skull I have like a sampler of. River City Rebels I think I have a sampler of. Armor for Sleep, obviously huge fan. Saw them a couple months ago. Seen them 4 times in the past 4 years. And then I think that's pretty much it. Taking Back Sunday, promo for the first album. Atreyu, Suicide Notes, Butterfly Kisses, June 4th, 02. War Machine Records. This probably was just some freebie that came at a show. I'm not quite sure which one. Steel Train, so that's probably 03-ish. And then Cursive. Another one of those bands that like I saw maybe once or twice. Have 1 or 2 of their CDs, but never really into them. I'm more into them now since I actually met and spent time with Tim Casher once. So we'll start here. So some of the Corporate, Given, listened to them for 23 years now. Hey Mercedes, bigger fan now than I was then. Open Hand, bigger fan now than I was then. Saw them, or they opened for somebody. For the Scenes Forever, still listen. Linkin Park, I was a huge Linkin Park fan. I was part of the street team, so I used to get like a ton of stickers and sampler CDs shipped to my house, and I pass them out at shows. Newfound Glory, bigger fan back then than I am now. Take It Back Sunday, still listen. Good Charlotte, and ex-girlfriend at the time was huge into Good Charlotte. So Movie Life, still love Newfound Glory. So that sticker's quite old because it's Newfound Glory. Accidentally hit stop. Punk, not sure where this sticker came from. Probably just some random one somebody bought me. Hey Mercedes, I'm pretty sure about those. All of these came from the same show. 2 Hey Mercedes, Kofax, Audio Learning Center, and then Piebald, I believe was the show. Because I ended up buying like an extra sticker or 2, put my phone number on it, and gave it to a girl that I was hanging out with, talking to at the show. I was talking to her friend more. Her friend was a blonde, and she was a brunette. Brunette's name was Shannon. I forget the blonde's name. I was talking to the blonde more, but she mentioned going back to school in a couple of weeks. So she wasn't gonna be around. But then the brunette looked like Danielle Harris to me. So I ended up giving her my number. and the blonde got jealous, but then me and the brunette went out a couple times, and she ended up being crazy. Get Up Kids, Audio Learning Center, Friendships Often Fade Away, fantastic album. Another Get Up Kids, another Hey Mercedes, and Finch. I don't know why I would, I should have spread it out a little bit more. Is there anything on top? I can't see what's up there. Oh, Furthest Things Forever. Yeah, I don't know why I would have put one on top. See how wobbly this beast is. I'm gonna fix it though. All right, so this side, we have Hot Rod Circuit. They still come on shuffle on occasion. There's never a band that I would take the CD and put it on. All I do have a CD. I'm pretty sure I have that album. Sorry About Tomorrow. Sparta, still a huge fan. Dashboard, not as big of a fan as I was back then, but still saw them a couple years ago. Ataris, still enjoy. Alkaline Trio, it's probably the only album of theirs I ever bought, but I still listen to it on occasion. Thursday, Cursive, another Dashboard, another Linkin Park Underground, same one as that one, yeah. Zwan, Juliana Theory, Dreamer. This was a Kansas City band. I think one of the guys went to school with a guy that I used to hang out with, used to go to shows with, but they put out, I don't know if they ever put out a full album, but they put out an EP called Wait for Summer EP. It's 5 tracks, but then it had like that thing, where the 5th track plays, long couple minutes of silence, and then like some audio recording of the lead singer proposing to his girlfriend, and it goes into this other song. It's fantastic. I really like that EP a lot. Don't know whatever happened with this band, but like I said, they're Kansas City based, I believe. Yeah, if you know anything about them, let me know. Juliana Theory, Vans Warped Tour 02, the only one I ever went to. Linkin Park again, Vans Warped Tour 02, Drive Thru. Probably these all came from that Warped Tour. Code 7, always a big fan of them ever since I've heard of them. POD Satellite, I actually had that album back before I kind of got into the pop punk emo screamo stuff. Back when I still kind of into a little bit of butt rock. But I kept this one obviously because of the release date. Now the Dashboard, I think that's a Zwan as well. A Zwan as well, see what I did there? That's a Zwan, that's a Zwan, I think there's another one somewhere. So early November, another Dashboard. Linkin Park, Reanimation, Juliana Theory, Linkin Park, Autopilot Off, fantastic band. I think they've always been underrated. Engine Down, another underrated, fantastic band. Now the Cursive, 238, I liked a lot. I think I saw 238, Elliot, somebody else in One Line Drawing maybe, but that was a fantastic show. Never knew anything about this guys. I saw them live, bought all their stuff. Same thing with Elliot. Didn't know anything about Elliot, and I saw them in 03, and they're one of my favorite bands. If I ever had a son, I was gonna name him Elliot. The Used, another Good Charlotte, the Reunion Show, Kill Your Television album promo, another SoCo, Amberlin, The Format, Monty R.I., and Train Dodge. This Monty R.I. we saw the Bandits in 08 or 09, one of those two, so these stickers are later on in the life cycle of this shelf. And then Train Dodge, I don't think I ever saw them, I just think I picked this up at a show. My friend Jonathan's a big fan of Train Dodge. And going back over here, we have Slick Shoes, Are You Crazy? Bad Astronaut. Bought a lot of their albums back in the day and listened to them more now than I did 20 some years ago. There's the other Zwan, and that's the other Zwan. I think it was 4. Majadis. I think this was a band out of Lawrence, Kansas, if I remember correctly. They played a show with Atreyu at El Torreon in Midtown, KC. It was Majadis, Blind Society, My Revenge, and then Atreyu. Majadis I really liked. Atreyu was great, but the 2 middle bands I just could not stand. There's something about them. It was a weird hardcore show. Those guys didn't really fit in, but I liked them. I don't know what happened to them. I have one of their CDs. Don't know if they ever put out. Keep pointing low. Don't know whatever happened to them, but pretty sure they were out of Lawrence, Kansas. Atreyu is great. Since It's Fails, this is their EP, From the Depths of the Dreams from 03. Jimmy World, Used, SoCo, Linkin Park, another 238, One Line Drawing, Early November, Appleseed Cast. I think I have one album of theirs, but never really listened to that much. I probably should have. 2 different Linkin Parks, Celebrity, to me, one of the most underrated bands ever. Their 2002 or 3 EP, Sleep, is one of my favorite EPs ever, along with Early November's For All of This. But love this band. Their first album, Lovesick, is fantastic. Their second album, Mining for Twilight, is fantastic. It's actually playing in my truck right now. I just don't think the name Celebrity was great for them, because you type in celebrity music, you're not going to find that band. You're going to find some celebrity's band. You know what I'm saying? Love this band. Fantastic albums. Wish I could have saw them. Shit, did I even see? Oh, I saw them once. I saw them at Juliana Theory and somebody else. Juliana Theory, Celebrity, one or two other people, maybe Copeland, at the Blue Note in Columbia, Missouri. Only time I ever saw them. My girlfriend at the time saw them before at some other show. Bought 2 copies of their EP, and that EP just reminds me of her basement in circa 2002 to 2003. Finch, another good Charlotte. Starting Line, Fairweather, RX freaking Bandits. Surprisingly, that's the only RX Bandits one on the shelf. Or another, okay, that's one down there too. Figured there'd be a lot more. Monine, good band, underrated. Raging Full Effect, Kansas City area, Senses Fail, another Alkaline Trio. 3 different Linkin Parks, another Alistair. Stewart, that's another Kansas City band or Missouri band. They have an album or EP called Come Back to Misery. It's spelled kind of like Misery/Missouri. That's one of my girlfriend at the time again. She saw them at a concert. She's a big fan, bought copies of their EPs for both of us. Always listened to it a lot. Started listening to it again like maybe a year ago because I posted about it somewhere. I don't know if it was somebody saw I had it on Discogs and said they wanted to hear it. So I uploaded all the tracks to YouTube, and then I uploaded the whole thing to YouTube as well, and it's still there. So on my main channel, BC Archive, their Come Back to Misery channel, or album EP, is on there still. Don't know whatever happened to these guys. Great band. Don't know if they ever put anything else out. Hey Mercedes, great. Early November, still a huge fan. I would love to see Hey Mercedes again. If they ever went back through. Because became more of a fan in the 2010s, 2020s than in the 2002 area. Even though that's back when I saw them. But then I kind of backtracked to the first band, Braid. Another Celebrity, Starting Line, RX Bandits, Phantom Planet, Drive Through, another Format. That's RX Bandits as well. I believe that design, correct me if I'm wrong, is designed by Aaron Nagel, the same guy that did that painting up there. Because I think he was designing their shirts and their merch at the time. This would have been Resignation era, so that, the album art over there. Something Corporate, Maxine, another band that I saw live somewhere, liked them, bought a t-shirt, bought the album, comes on shuffle all the time, enjoy it. Didn't even know that they went on to put out more albums, so I need to kind of track those down. Code 7, Dancing Against Dead Sounds, that's an 04 album. Fiddler Records, they put out a lot of early stuff from, I think, Newfound Glory and Dashboard and a lot of the Florida bands. Dylan Escape Plan, saw them once in 04. Fear Before the March of Flames, Art Damage. I don't know if that's the album I have, but I do have an album of theirs. In fact, it came on shuffle just today at work. Fire Theft, that was kind of like 3/4 of Sunny Day Real Estate. Sunny Day broke up. 3 out of the 4 guys, I think, did Fire Theft for a while. That ended, and then Sunny Day came back with all 4 of them. Whatever. Acceptance, love that band. Truly great band. Copeland, again, bigger fan of them now than I was back then. Same Jack's Manic and Everything Transit one here as over there, so I could get rid of the other one. Saves the Day, New Amsterdams. So that's a side project offshoot of Get Up Kids and Kennedy Luck Club. What's interesting about Kennedy Luck Club is I still have their EP. I saw them in Topeka, Kansas back in 2005. Chris Rowe of the Ataris is doing an acoustic tour. And so my lady friend and I at the time drove to Topeka to go see Chris Rowe, a couple friends of ours, and this band, Kennedy Luck Club, was playing. Good band, enjoyed their album, or enjoyed the set, so I bought a copy of their album. Nothing to, write home about. They burned in themselves, wrote, Kennedy Luck Club on them, whatever. That was 2005. 2012, 13, 14, when I took a hiatus from work and I was doing nothing but hanging out and going to Lawrence and going to shows and stuff. My friends' bands, Spirit is the Spirit was playing a lot, and I was just doing, a lot of bands were coming through Lawrence, so I just kept going there, hanging out. But then my friend Daniel was in Spirit is the Spirit, but then he also got added to the lineup for this band called Cowboy Indian Bear. So I started palling around with Cowboy Indian Bear a lot and got to know everybody, in that band. I'd go to their shows, hang out with them before, after. We get food, we go back to their whoever's house and hang out. I was actually at the 2014 Pitch Weekly Awards where Cowboy Indian Bear won Best Album of the Year, Best Artist of the Year, something. But turns out that 9 years before, in 2005, CJ, who's the main guy in Cowboy Indian Bear, his first band I saw play at the Booby Trap in Topeka, and it was Kennedy Luck Club. So I'd seen CJ years before, not knowing it was him in that band. So I think that was kind of interesting, but I don't think, well, I might add a couple more stickers. Putting ones on the shelf is kind of dumb because these binders and whatnot are going to go on it, but I'm keeping this, literally keeping this shelf alive, just with, you know, chewing gum and Scotch tape and paper clips. But there's more money in the stickers than in the shelf itself, you know. That's me doing shelf. But obviously kind of cool to keep around because a lot of history here, all those memories I just relived. Did I point out the bells? The bells I saw Blue Note, Columbia with Get Up Kids, like November or December-ish of 02. My friend Oren and I drove out there to that. That was the first time I went to the Blue Note. But yeah, that's it. That is the shelf. So, hope you enjoyed the stories. Peace.